Hello, so mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new to this channel, you're very much welcome. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful fabric flower. So after making this fabric flower, I attached it to this blouse, and this is what it looks like. So if you're interested in this tutorial, please like this video, drop a comment for me, subscribe to this channel, and let's get right into the tutorial. So guys, for the flower I made use of a Mikado fabric. So this fabric is two-faced. This Mikado is two-faced. It has this shining face and the regular face. So for the center of the flower, after making it, I arranged this rhinestone. And if you don't have this rhinestone, you can just look for a flower to place at the center. So the next thing I made use of is this cup chain. I don't know the number of yards I use, but I made use of cup chain that I cut out. Then the next thing I made use of is this gum. So I used this gum. So now let's cut out our flower. So depending on how big you want your flower to be, mine was not that big. So the first layer there was 3 by 3. So this is 3 by 3 that I measured on my pattern paper. So just mark out 3 inches wide and 3 inches long. Then you divide that 3 inches into 2. So when you divide it into 2, so you have 1.5 at one side and 1.5 at the other side. Then you cut out this shape. So for me, I just made use of this shape. So I made use of this shape. You will see that when I'm done cutting, you will see what the shape I used. So you can just fold your paper into 2 like this, so that when you are cutting, you have equal sides on both sides, just like this. So when you cut, both sides are equal. So after cutting, this is what the flower looks like. So this is 3 inches. So I will cut another layer, so that layer will be 2.5. So instead of 3 inches, I reduced it a bit to 2.5. So we measure 2.5. Since this paper is on fold, so 2.5 divided by 2, you measure that, so that's about 1.25 inch. So you also do the same thing you did for that 3 inches. So just fold the paper into 2, then you cut this out. So after cutting it out, this is what it looks like, and it's, as you can see, like it's smaller than that. So this is 2.5. So I cut out another one, which is the last layer, and this one will be 2 inches. So I fold the pattern paper into 2. I measure 2 inches upward like this, and for the wideness of this, I'll be using 1. No, this pattern paper is on fold, so when I open it up, I have 2 inches. So in case you want your flower to be bigger than this, so you can use as big as 5 inches or 4 inches, depending on how big you want. You can even use 7 inches depending on how big you want the flower to be. And you may not use 7 by 7, you can just make it long, because I was aiming at a round shape. That's why I'm using 3 by 3, 2.5 by 2.5. Sure, you get, you can just customize your shape to what you want. So after that, you go ahead and cut on your fabric. So you cut as many as possible. So for me, for the biggest one, I think I used about 8 pieces. And you have to cut 2, like they have to be in pairs, because you have to turn them. So I cut 2. So let's say now, if I'm aiming at 8 petals, let's say I want it to be 8 petals on for one particular size, so I have to cut times 2, that's 16. So when I take them in pairs, I have 8. So I went ahead to cut this, because I'm making two of this flower, so I cut them in 2 places. So for this, for different sizes, I cut out each of them. So I'll tell you the numbers I cut out for each of them very soon. So this is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and now sew round. So this is it after sewing. So like I said, I will still tell you how many I used for each layer. It is now 3 layer. I'll tell you how many I'll be attaching together. So you go ahead and turn this. Make sure you turn every corner outside. Then after turning, you go ahead and you iron. I think the biggest size I have here, that is after sewing, I used 8 pieces. I used 8 pieces of that one. For the biggest size, that's the 3 inches. Then the 2.5 inches, I cut out 6 of it. That is, it is in pairs. So that's 12. So when I sew it, I have 6 pieces. That's for one flower. Then the last one, I cut out 5 pieces. So now this is the biggest one. So I will be making the gathers As you can see how I'm doing it. So when I'm about to get to the end of the last one, I'll place this other one too on it. Then I'll just be making a running stitch at the edge. So like I said, I'm using 8 for the first layer, so I will do the 8 of them like this. Then when I get to the last one, I will just connect it. I'll connect the last one to the first one I made. We see that very soon. So for this flower also, you can mix your fabric. If you want to use two color, you can make maybe the middle one to be another color, the last layer. You can just be creative with this flower. The point is just to understand the process. So if you understand the process, you will be able to customize it to the size, the design, the colors you want. So after getting to the last one, you just place it on it like this to make a cycle. Then you just sew on the first one, then you just secure this together. As you can see that it has formed a round shape. So this is what you should have. So after you are done with this, you cut out the thread, then you move to the second layer. So you secure your thread, then you move to the second layer. So let me recap this. So for the first layer, I attached 8 of those petals. So for this other layer, I'm using 6 of these. So the way I did my flower was that the first layer was the shining part of the mikado, the second layer was not the shining part, then the last layer was the shining part. So in case you are using two color, you can just mix it like that also. So I'll be doing 6 of these together. Then when I get to the last one, I will now connect the last one to the first one just to form a cycle. So I think this is 6 already, so I'll connect this together, then I will secure it. So after I was done, this is what I have. Then you place this on it. As you can see what it is looking like, it is coming together gradually. So you secure this, then you cut out the thread. Then the next thing to do now is to move to the last one. So this is the last one, and this one I'm just using 5 pieces. So I'm using 5 pieces. As you can see that I was reducing it in terms of the size and also the numbers. So this is just to create these 3 layers. So that's why I reduced it. So you go ahead and you do the same thing too. You secure it, then you place it on it. So this is what this one looks like. As you can see, after placing it on it, this is what it looks like. So make sure you secure it properly. You secure it properly, then you place it on each other like this. Then now you hold all the 3 together at the center. Please just hold them together at the center. Make sure you hold them together at the center. Don't hold them together at the edge. Make sure they are attached at the center so that it can look very neat. So this is what my flower is looking like. If you notice this is too small for you, you can just increase it like I said, but I was working with a small size, so that's why I left it like this. So if you want it to be bigger, you have to cut bigger sizes. So secure this, and this is what we have. So I'll go ahead and do the other one too with this remaining. So now the next thing to do now is to cut our cup chain. So this is my cup chain. So depending on how long you want your cup chain to be, I think I used about 12 inches length for that cup chain, and I cut 7. So I cut 7 strands of that cup chain, and it was about 12 inches long. So depending if you want it longer or if you want it shorter, just do what you want, do what you desired. But I used 12 inches and I cut 7 each for each flower. So after you are done cutting all this cup chain, you have to place this. So I'll tack this down with my needle and thread. And the way I'll tack this down is that there is a space in between the stones on this cup chain. So the first one is where I will be sewing. So I'll use the thread to hold it down. Just make sure you secure all this cup chain. We'll still use a gum to hold it down, but it is very important to use your needle and thread to hold it down first. I tried the two method. I tried using gum alone to hold this down, but I didn't get what I wanted. So it is best to first use your needle and thread to secure it at the right place before you now add the gum on it. So make sure you secure it well. So I was securing it one after the other to be sure that everything is in place. So after I was done, I add this my hot gum on it, on like everything, so that it can bind everything together. So now, like I said, at the center of this you have to arrange something. It's either you use a flower, a small flower at the center, or you can attach your rhinestone on it. So for mine, I use 5 pieces of rhinestone at the center just to cover up that side and to also add beauty to the flower. So that's what I did. So you put your gum at the center, make sure it is enough. Don't be stingy with the gum. Put it at the center to cover all the rhinestone. Then you pl- place your rhinestone on it to form like a circled shape, if you get. So just place it on it to cover the cup chain, the edge of the cup chain and the center of the flower. So that's the essence of this rhinestone. Or you can just use a flower, like I said, just place the flower at the center and it will also achieve the same result. So this is what this one looks like. Then I'll go ahead and do the second one. So this is what the second one too looks like, and it came out beautiful, very perfect and very fine. Like I said, if you want your flower to be bigger, you cut bigger size, and if you want the cup chain to be shorter or longer, you also do as you wish. So this is what the flower looks like after I was done, and this is so beautiful. Like, I love it. So when you attach this to your outfit, it will like elevate the outfits. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.